Tzu Chi volunteers delivered 10 boxes of blankets to Morakot victims in Sandimen, Pingdong. In Zhanghua, volunteers go to console the family of a Morakot rescuer who had died in line of duty. And free clinics are being held at 6 disaster areas throughout Taiwan. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Jennifer Sen. Thank you for joining us. Typhoon Morakot made land on Taiwan on August 7th and created severe flooding and landslides after torrential rain on August 8th. In the aftermath of what has become known as the 8.8 disaster, Tzu Chi volunteers have never stopped caring for survivors. Concerned about the conditions in affected villages, volunteers took 10 boxes of blankets to a temporary shelter in Sandimen, Pingdong, and at the same time carried a message of concern from Master Zheng Yan.
While escaping the disaster, some people did not even have time to put on their shoes. Now in a shelter, they wait barefoot. This 85-year-old woman is still in shock. Tzu Chi volunteers comfort each and every one of the survivors, bringing with them a blessing from Master Zheng Yan. Handing over one box after another of eco-friendly blankets made from recycled plastic bottles, the delivery to this shelter in Sandimen will help survivors sleep more comfortably at night. As their eyes well up with tears, the recipients say what's on their minds.
In southern Taiwan, a helicopter crashed in a rescue mission for Morakot victims, resulting in the death of all 3 crew members. The captain, Zhang Shunfa, was the only son in his family. Just 2 weeks ago, the loving man had taken his mother to a beach resort area, Kending, which has now become their final trip together. The 70-some-year-old mother was distraught, so volunteers went to her home in Zhanghua, hoping to console her in any way they could.
Thinking of the passing of her only son, Zhang Shunfa could not hold back her tears.
He was very gentle to me, always soft-spoken.
While on a rescue mission for the Morakot victims in southern Taiwan, the helicopter in which Zhang Shunfa and 2 other crew members were flying crashed, resulting in their death. And yet, just 2 weeks ago, Zhang had taken his mother on a trip to Kending at the very tip of southern Taiwan. With the memories of their final time together so fresh, it was hard for the 70-some-year-old to believe now her son is gone.
His father passed away 2 years ago. He didn't fall ill, he just died suddenly.
He was out doing a bodhisattva's work. There was nothing you could have done. You should not worry anymore.
I told her that if she tags along to do Tzu Chi's work, her mood will be better. Actually, I'm a Tzu Chi member myself.
With 2 decades of experience as a Tzu Chi member, Zhang's sister hopes that Mother Zhang may mend the sense of loss she feels over her son's sudden death by taking solace in Tzu Chi's work.
Many Typhoon Morakot refugees in Kaohsiung County are being sheltered in Shunxian Temple, Qishan Junior High School, and Qishan Hospital. Mud is being dragged into Qishan Hospital by the crowds of people coming in and out of the building. So aside from comforting the survivors, Tzu Chi volunteers have been helping keep the casualty department clean.
Ms. Lan, who was stranded in the mountains for 2 days, has lost track of time. Thankfully, she got out of Namaxia village alive, her older brother escaping with only minor injuries. Tzu Chi volunteers take the sister and brother pair to see the doctor. Because the brother was caught in the mudslide, his legs are covered in cuts and bruises.
After 2 days, come back for a return checkup. Use this time to make sure your injuries get better. Don't worry.
The wall is covered with hospital check-in records. To keep the area clear of mud being brought in, Tzu Chi volunteers have been sweeping the floor of the entrance and hospital wards, making sure the emergency ward is the safest shelter for disaster victims.
From Qishan Hospital to Daling Tzu Chi Hospital, where staff are continuing to organize free clinics in disaster areas. On Thursday, they were joined by health workers from Taipei and Taichung Tzu Chi hospitals. The infusion of manpower allowed free clinics to be held in 6 areas, including Pingdong and the Dongshi Township and Ruili Mountain areas of Jiayi County. Thursday also happened to be the anniversary of Daling Tzu Chi Hospital, making the day even more special.
Dividing into 6 teams, medical staff from Daling Tzu Chi Hospital head to Pingdong County, as well as the Dongshi Township and Ruili Mountain areas in Jiayi County. Learning from previous experience, the staff make sure the medical supplies are enough for all in need. The motorcade sets off when preparation is completed.
We prepare plenty of medication. We don't want the patients to worry about running out of supplies.
Medical staff from Taipei and Taichung Tzu Chi hospitals also came down south earlier in the morning to join the cause in hopes of providing relief in disaster areas.
It is only natural to contribute what I can. There's nothing to it.
Knowing the storm victims now need medical attention after surviving the disaster, the hospital staff gather to contribute what they can to the recovery process.
Young people from Namasha Township in Kaohsiung County, Taiwan, have gone to their hometown to volunteer. They're helping the hundreds of people who have been rescued by helicopter and are now in temporary shelters or hospitals. One effective way for the young volunteers to send out the call for help has been through the internet.
This child was separated from her family while evacuating Namasha in southern Taiwan. But at least she is finally in safe hands. Right away, the rescuers begin to locate the girl's parents. Providing assistance is just only one part because the rescuers also communicate over the phone to coordinate follow-up work. These young good Samaritans are from Namasha Township, Kaohsiung County. Some had left their villages to work in outside areas, and some are still students. But they came back to help their fellow tribesmen.
Our job is to back up the relief efforts and keep in touch with the village because villagers take us children because our parents are still up there.
In addition to coordinating housing arrangements with county officials, the young adults have also been using the web to spread news and messages.
We have been publicizing updates online and on bulletin board systems. I'm very touched by all the web users who have been helping us convey the information. Without their help, people wouldn't have known that above Xiaolin, another township was in worse shape. That's our hometown, Namasha.
The e-call for help is quite a success because 40 to 50 originally from the township responded. For them, it is brotherhood which has brought them together.